Hello and welcome to Powerbench. Today I'm going to be testing this Aukey 20,000 mAh lightning power bank. It comes in a very large box. It's cardboard. I bought this from Amazon. I paid I think £21 for it. The retail price is £30. It's currently on sale for £19.99, so it seems like reasonable value. So in the box we've got a nice padded bag. You probably can't see that very clearly. Adjust the brightness slightly. Yeah, that's too far. There we go, let's go with that. So it's got a pouch for a cable and sort of springy flaps. I'll fix the light level in a second. Again, in the box we've got a little user manual. Look at that in a sec. Let me adjust the position of the iPad slightly. There we go. Little warranty card, 24-month warranty. Reasonable. Feels like a place for a cable. Yeah. So, no annoying plastic, which is nice. Quite a nice carrying pouch. Branded. It seems alright. So, let's have a look at the thing. So, sort of embossed. You're not going to forget what capacity it is. Legitimate looking CE mark. Again, it's a UK retail product, so I guess that's not a massive surprise. So capacity 20,000 mAh, 74 watt hours, so far so standard. Lightning input 5 volt 2 amp, micro USB input 5 volt 2 amp, output 5 volt 3.4 amp, each 2.4 amp max. So there's two USB sockets. Now the cool thing about this, at least if you're an Apple user, focus. Come on. Honestly, technology. There we go. So the nice thing if you're an Apple user is it comes with a lightning charging port as well as micro USB one, which means that if you just carry a lightning cable around, you can still charge this up, so you only have to carry one cable, which is quite cool. So there's two USB ports. They can both do 2.4 amps apparently, with a 3.4 amp total, which is what you'd kind of expect from a power bank of this size. It's quite heavy, it's very square, which is I guess what you'd expect. So let's have a look at the size. It is about 147 millimeters long, about 82 wide, and 21 deep. And the cable, let's look at the cable. I've got the tape measure out, tape measure, ruler. So the cable has some sort of AI branding, Aukey, there we go. USB logo as normal, you'd hope. Aukey branded that end. Strangely, it's very limited. It's quite a thick cable though. I don't know whether it's all insulation or whether it's actually capable of current carrying, but we'll find out soon enough. But it feels surprisingly good actually. That's quite a good cable, and it is 30 centimeters long, pretty much tip to tip. So that's fine. So how much did it weigh? So obviously this is not going to be something you're going to want to carry around in your pocket. It is a beast. There you go, 381 grams. So I mean that's physics really. It's got to have more batteries in it than this is the biggest one I've tested by quite some margin, and it's got to carry a lot more batteries in it than a 10,000 milliampere hour one, so it's going to be bigger and heavier, which is, you know, reasonable enough. So there's a set of indicator lights. Let's see what it says if I press it. Okay, so 3 indicator blobs lit, so that's somewhere between 50 and 75% full. This has been sitting on my shelf. This has been sitting on my shelf since June. We're now middle of October. So the discharge rate of this is pretty good. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. That's a good thing. So looking at the little meter, see what the ports advertise themselves as. Okay, so you do have to press the power button to get it to wake up. .4 amps. Looks like it cuts itself off quite aggressively with low current. 2.4 amps. So no surprise there. So can we do? It claims 2.4. It claims 2.4 amps. Are quite stiff, these USB ports. So it's a bit annoying it doesn't turn itself on automatically. It claims it will do 2.4 amps per port. So initial output 5.2 volts. Perfectly reasonable. Voltage dropping slightly as I crank up the current, but seems to be adjusting around 5 volts, which is fine. So 2.4 amps, 5 volts spot on, which is, you know, what you'd hope. That's pretty reasonable. So how far does this go on a single port before it turns off? Okay, so it cuts off the voltage drops quite significantly, above 2.6 amps. So that's reasonable. Let me find 1 second. Right. I don't like using this because it gets very hot, but it's a 2 amp load and it's quite a slim line. Hopefully there's room. There is not room. One sec. Okay, not ideal, but I'll do it this way around. So I've got a 2 amp load plugged into this little meter on a cable. Let's do them the other way around and then the display is more visible. So I suppose one nice thing about this not turning itself on automatically is that you do at least get a bit more. You don't have to worry about things draining it when you're not expecting them to. So if I turn this on, let's turn that down. Right. So this draws 1.9 amps when it's on. So 1.5 amps in theory is our maximum for this. So 3.4 in total. Perfect. So it's fluctuating a little bit under 5 volts, but that's fine, it's perfectly within spec. The USB standard normally expects 4.75 to 5.25 volts. So that's okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. Bear in mind we're drawing 3.4 amps of 5 volts is fair. So yeah, Again, if we crank it up, the voltage starts to drop off quite quickly after that. But again, that's perfectly fair. So that works as you would hope it does. So the cable test. Oh, that's hot. It's not a surprise, but so I'm going to test the cable the way I normally do. Just adjust the colour and focus slightly. So plugged into the bench power supply, little USB meter, .1 amps, which is what everything else has been tested at. Slightly too far. There we go. So 2.1 amps, 5 volts, accounting for the loss in the plug and the cabling. So I'm going to take this cable, plug it into a micro USB port. Come on, focus. Alright, fine. It's determined not to. So 4.83 volts. So we're seeing a drop of 0.17 volts there, which is actually very good. If we bung that into the calculator. 0.17 divided by 5 times by 100, 3.4%. It's only a short cable, but that's pretty good. Better than usual. So great success. It's a quality cable for a short one. Certainly for a freebie one. That's very good. I'm trying to think what else I need to do that I haven't done. I'll try and figure out the hold on current, and then get this charged up for the discharge test. Back in a minute. So hold on current for this appears to be about 75 milliamps, which is relatively high. It's charging at the moment. The indicator lights flash in the standard arrangement. And it's currently drawing just over 2 amps, so more or less in line with the spec, but it's going to take a while to charge up this, so I'll leave it to it. Right, it's fully charged. Here's the button, so it's showing 4 blobs. For any of you wondering why I haven't done a test with the power on, it doesn't support that. There's no pass-through power support, so that's a shame, but it's listed as not supported in the specs, which is why I've not bothered. So we'll plug in the meter. Both ports are identical in terms of power, so I need to press the button when that's on, so I use my little stand and get it connected, and then turn the power on. So same deal as normal, we'll do the discharge at 2.4 amps. I'll stop this from focusing around, and then I'll switch to time-lapse mode to save the amount of video that needs processing. So it's 2.4 amps, which is what what the Powerbank reports it will do. So there we go. Output is 5 volts, pretty much right on the money. I'd zeroed the meter out, so that all looks fine. So now we'll just leave it. This is going to take about 5 hours, I think, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it has turned itself off. It was a nice consistent voltage all the way through the discharge test. It continued to supply 2.4 amps, and it cut off nice and cleanly, so that's a success. Let's turn off the noisy oscilloscope. So the thing remaining to find out, well, two things. Let's see. Yeah, so as expected, just a little bit of life left in it. And what was the actual capacity? So it's done 60.3 milliwatt hours, 60,294 milliwatt hours, or 60.3 watt hours, of a maximum 3.7 times by 20. So potential maximum of 74,000 milliwatt hours. So 60,294 divided by 74,000 times 100. 81.5%. Which is okay actually. That's on the good end of power banks. It's not spectacular. Nearly trashed the place. It's not spectacular, but it's pretty respectable. Anything over 80, I'd say, is normally perfectly reasonable. In terms of as a device, it's basically met all of its published specs. It feels reasonably solid. It's a brand that has a goodish reputation. The reviews are good on Amazon. So yeah, on the whole, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a perfectly good 20,000 milliamp hour 2-port USB power bank with a good quality cable and a reasonably nice carrying pouch. So for the money, I mean, at the moment they're on offer £19.99, I think. Normal price seems to be about £22-23, looking at Camel. And for that money, they're pretty good value, so recommended. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. If you don't like videos, there'll be a write-up at my website, which is powerben.ch. I'll do a write-up of every video I post, so if you keep an eye on that, you won't have to watch these long videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.